Yes, hello comrades. This is Ranga William, and this is our project lesson number 5. So I encourage you to continue subscribing to this YouTube channel. Don't forget the notification bell, like, comment, and also share. So for our lesson number 5, we said we are going to start from the phases of our projects, and also we see also the mark allocation. So let us go. Let us begin our lesson. So we are seeing our heading phases of our project report and the mark allocation of each phase. So here we have 4 phases in our projects. We have 4 phases. Now this one is for the teachers when we are marking, but also it is good for the learners to know how they will be marked, because we are recommended the learner must know the way he or she is going to be marked when he or she is carrying out project work. Yes, we have what we call the first phase called the planning phase. The planning phase will take strictly 22 marks. I'll upload a lesson and a lesson about mark allocation in details, and we see how that those 22 marks will come from where. So in the planning, what is involved in that planning? First of all, we have what we call giving a problem statement. Yes, giving a problem. We see a problem statement is taking how many marks, the title is taking how many marks. All that will a lesson will be uploaded explaining the mark allocation of each phase in details. Then we have the second phase called the implementation phase, and we are seeing it may take either 33 marks or 36 marks. And when does it take 33 marks and 36 marks? So it can take 33 if we don't consider the environmental friendliness, but if we consider the environmental friendliness, it will take 36 marks. So we shall see that in details where those marks are coming from. We have the third phase called the product. And this one take either 26 or 23 marks. So if we consider 33 marks, if we don't consider the environmental friendliness in implementation phase, it will take 33, implying that now the product will take 26 marks. But if we consider the environmental friendliness, it will take 36 marks, then implying that the product will take 23 marks. So we shall see all that in details, because we see inside this product we have what we call efficiency, and also the rest to take they are taking 5 marks, but we have what we call efficiency, which is taking if I try to recall, efficiency is taking 1 mark, but effectiveness is taking 2 marks. So we shall see that in details, but the rest, the originality, what those ones are taking 5 marks. Then we have our last phase called the project report, and this one is strictly taking 19 marks. So we shall see a lesson about mark allocation for each phase, and we see the week we shall award the marks to make up a total of 100 marks. So if we consider the first one, 22 plus 33 plus 26 plus 19, it is giving you a total of 100. Or if we go like this, 22 plus 36, then it will be plus 23, then plus 19. Also that one will give you a total of 100. So let us go with that about the mark allocation, and we shall upload a lesson about it in details. So let us just continue what we call how many projects are to be done in a year. How many projects are to be done in a year? In other words, we are going to see before the student sits for UNEB, he or she must have worked out how many projects. So a learner is expected to have done at least 2 projects by the time he or she sits for the Uganda National Examination Board, implying that, remember, a learner within senior 1 and senior 2, he or she has to do 12 subjects. Then senior 3, senior 4, a learner has to continue with only 9 subjects. So the 12 subjects, and I said a learner by the end of the Uganda National Examination Board, examinations, a learner, so by the time he or she sits for the Uganda National Examinations, he or she must have done at least 2 projects per subject. So if you do some mathematics there, so the 9 times the 2, that is 18. So because if we first consider those 9, he or she takes from senior 3 to senior 4 times 2, that is 18. Then remember, the learner began with the 12. So on the 9, we add on the other 3 to make it a 12. The 12 subjects. So that will be what? 18 projects plus the other 3 projects, because in the other 3 subjects, the learner he or she has just done only one project. So 18 plus the 3, that makes a total of 21 projects. In other words, by the end of senior 4, a learner must have covered, by the end of senior 4 second term, not by the end of senior 4, by the end of senior 4 second term, a learner must have done 21 projects. You see it as a simple target, but for sure, how can within this in a term we are having, in a year we are having how many terms? We are having 3 terms. We said in our introduction, lesson number 1, our projects must cover 2 to 6 weeks. In a year we have only 3 terms. A term is having how many weeks? A maximum, we can say maximum of what? Of 12 weeks. A maximum of 12 weeks. We have examinations, we have activities there, we have what? Very many things. You may find that time for doing projects, it is there, but it may not be enough for the 21 projects. So therefore, a system has to be created, and which system I summarized here. At senior 1 and senior 2, a learner should do 12 projects for the 12 subjects. I've been explaining that. So senior and senior 2, we have 12 projects for the 12 subjects. We are going to achieve that. This means that a learner should do at least 2 projects per term for the different subjects. Since there are 12 subjects, and in a term in a year, we are having 3 terms. So and we have considered senior and senior 2. Now those ones become how many terms within 2 years? Those ones become 6 terms. So how many projects can you do in 1 term? So 12 divided by 6, we come up with 2 projects. So therefore, a learner has to do at least 2 projects per term. You can do more. It depends. It depends on the level of the problem you are solving. Is it a routine problem or non-routine problem? But my friend, we find that it is better for us to come up with projects that depict creativity and innovativeness. We do 2 projects per term, because project work is stressing, and also it is tiresome. And also we remember we are having other activities. We have to beat the syllabus. We have to do what? So we came up with only 2 projects per term of the different subjects, and those are 12. So, and how are we going to be doing that? Assuming that we are having these subjects, examples of subjects: physics, history, chemistry, CRI. This is a student doing such subjects. So you find that a student in senior 1 term 1 is going to do 2 projects, and they will be in physics and history. So if this student won't repeat so 2 projects within physics and history, what I'm trying to mean is he's going to do 1 project in physics and 1 project in history. That makes a total of 2 projects within that term, one physics project and one history project. Come to term number 2 of senior 1, a student also does chemistry 1, CRE 1 project to make a total of 2 projects. Then the same applies to biology, that is term 3, and agriculture. So then the student will do end of cycle exam number 1 at the end of senior 1. So that is year 1. So implying that makes, if we add up our number of projects, 2 plus 2 plus 2, we make a total of 6 projects in senior 1. Then we do the same in senior 2. The projects done in senior 1 must be repeated the subjects done, projects done in the subjects in senior 1 must be covered again in senior 3 or 4. So no need of coming back to the project of physics when I'm in senior 2, to the project of history when I'm in senior 2. No. We go to other subjects. Let's say we didn't do the project of mathematics in senior 1, so we do it in senior 2. Computer studies, then come second term you can do fine art, then geography come second term you can do the languages, entrepreneurship, and English. So we have very many languages here, Kiswahili, French, and many others, such that we make a total of 6 projects also in senior 2. So if we add the 6 plus the 6, we come up with a 12 projects. But remember, at every end of a year, a student is doing end of cycle examination. So this will be end of cycle exam number 2. So that was just a simple analysis that was made, and we came up with something like that. So if we continue, so this allows every learner to have 1 project mark for every subject at senior and senior 2. So the 12 learner will have 1, implying that if there are 12 subjects, learner will have 12 projects by the end of senior 1 and senior 2. So once a subject, let's say physics, has done their project in senior 1, term 1, they won't do it again they won't do it again in senior and senior 2. They have to wait for senior and they have to wait for senior 3 and senior 4. So subject covered in senior 1, it must be covered again in senior 3 or senior 4. And the subject covered in senior 2 must be also covered in senior 3 or senior 4. So depending on the arrangements of the school, as I told you, we can do at least 2 projects per term. At least means that we can do 2 or more. So some schools have their own arrangements and also have their own targets, so they can do more and more. So this one was just this system was just, we came up with this system for just simplifying how to cover the 21 projects within the 4 years. And I don't think that they are 4 years, they are 3 years and some 2 terms, because project work by senior 4, second term, no more projects. So at senior 3 and senior 4, a learner shall do another 1 project in each of the subjects offered before the end of the cycle examinations, totaling to another 9 projects for the 9 subjects at that level. So 9 plus 12, that is making a total of 21 projects. So if we see the same system, we are seeing that physics was in senior 1 first term, so we are doing it now in senior 3 again, second, so senior 3 first term, and this makes physics a total of 2 projects that we want to see by the time a student does UNEB. Even history, the same applies to that. So by the end of senior 3, a student does end of cycle examination and also having a total of 6 projects. So the same applies if we go to year 4 it will be senior 4 first term and second term. Here a learner has to do only 3 projects, 2 projects in the first term and 1 in second term, and we give time for a learner to do revision in senior 4 third term, and also focusing at the end of the cycle examination, which will be enabled here. So therefore, a learner has to take time. That's why we decided let the project work end in senior 4 first term, and it is ending in senior 4. So the project will end in senior 4 second term, and it is ending in senior 4 second term with only 1 project. Now here, when you are following the normal system, but you find that most of the schools have their own systems, even they can end the project work in year 3. I'm not encouraging them to do so, but I'm just, because they can create some holiday sessions for just doing project work. So it will depend on what the school wants to achieve. So this makes a total of 9 projects. That makes a total of 9 projects. So if we continue, this allows every learner to have 1 other project mark for every subject offered at senior 3 and senior 4. Each project should last between 2 to 6 weeks. Keep that in mind. This is just a summary of what we have been covering since lesson number 1 of the term, and at the end of the specified time period. So the learners are required to present a product or an output and also evidence of the progress in the form of a portfolio. We have been saying all that students should have roles witnessed in the project portfolio, and we say the project portfolio involves the developmental stages, the way the learner has been carrying out the project work. So for group now, very many people have questions about here. Yes, we now to mark a project of a single student. But what about when they do in groups? Do they have to have the same marks? No, they must not have the same. They must not have the same marks. So, but in which phase and which phase should they have the same marks? Phase 1 and phase 3. These ones will carry the same marks of every participant in that group. So phase 1, that is the planning phase, then phase 3, that is the product phase. But we see that phase 2, which is the implementation phase, and phase 4, which is the report writing, those 2 phases are the one that make that causes the learners not to have the same phases. So phase 2 and phase 4 determines what each participant will end up getting. After the completion of the project. So allow me to end here my lesson number 5, and we shall upload lesson number 6. So continue subscribing to this YouTube channel, like, comment, and also share. So don't forget the notification bell. Thank you.